after you've decided which piece of paper you want to work with, you'll take out the larger version of that piece of paper, whether it be black, white, or one of the colorful ones. Next, you're going to draw this to proportion on your large piece of paper. Okay, so what I like to do is to give myself a little bit of a guide. I find the halfway point on each side of the paper. So I'm not using a ruler, I am eyeballing this. If you want to use a ruler, you can, but I just try to get it close like that. Just put a little dash so I have something that I can guide myself with. I did not print this out. If you're able to print it out, it might be easier. I do, I kind of have to just picture it with my eyes where those dashes are, or if your Chromebook has the option, my Mac has this markup option where I can actually draw on my picture, but I don't know if you guys have that, so I'm not gonna do it on this picture. I'll just have to eyeball it. All right, but if you have the option to actually draw on it and find the halfway marks, that's helpful. Okay, so I'm going to start with whatever is in the front of the picture plane. Okay, so this petal is in front of all the other petals, and this middle part is nice and clear, and it seems to be in front of most of the other petals. The bottom here is really blurry, but those are actually in front of everything else, and I'm going to exaggerate it and make it look a little bit clearer on my piece of paper. So let's see, I'm going to start with the middle and then the big petal. This is the halfway point, and it looks like that's about a quarter of the way down. So this middle of the flower would be, let's see, that's the halfway point, that's about a quarter. So that part of the flower, that curve would be like right here. Okay, and then the edge of that would be about 1/8, so like right about there. I'm going to be more careful with this drawing than I was on the practice because this is my final and I want it to look accurate. I'm still gonna ignore this. I don't really like how that looks, so I'll pretend like it's not there, but I'm gonna draw the rest of the petals. Okay, and then the edge of this is a little bit further away. Let's say like right here. So I'm just gonna draw the top curve of that. Okay, and then I have a petal in front. There's actually 3 here, so I'm gonna draw all 3. So one here, they're blurry, so I'm kind of exaggerating these on my own. And then one right here. Okay, the rest are clearer, so I'm gonna try to follow those as accurately as I can. And I think I'm actually gonna ignore the water droplets too. That just adds a level of complexity that I don't know if I really want to tackle. Okay, so large petal. This is halfway, this is a quarter of the way, and the petal goes past that. So halfway, quarter of the way, so above that is where the top of my petal should be. So right around here. All right, then the edge, this is halfway, a quarter of the way, so it's about the quarter of the way. So halfway, quarter of the way, so right around there. Same thing on the other side, halfway, quarter of the way. So it's not fully there, it's sort of in between. Halfway, quarter of the way, so somewhere right there. So that kind of gives you an idea of how I plan to make sure I draw this accurately. And then on the bottom, I'm just gonna make sure I put them where they belong. How about that? And then I can connect the dots. On my practice, I wasn't too concerned about getting it just right. I just needed something that looked pretty close, but on my final, I do want it to look more accurate. Okay, then you work your way back. So you start with the stuff that's closest to you, and then you work on the things that are in the background. So the next one I'm gonna work on is this one right here and this one right here. So one starts here, this is halfway, and that petal is right there below the halfway mark. So halfway, below halfway, so right around here. And I'm gonna connect those dots. Okay, then this petal goes above the halfway point. So this is the halfway point, so right around here. And it starts here, so I'm gonna connect those dots. Okay, the next one I'll work on is this one and this one. So this one starts here, and that's halfway, and it ends below the halfway mark. So halfway, below halfway, right around here. Connect those dots. All right, and this part of the next petal is very nearby, so right around that far away, and it connects there. Connect those dots. Oop, I'm a little bit off, but that's okay. And then I have to figure out where this is compared to the petal I already drew. So it looks like right around here. This is halfway, halfway. So this looks like it's all the way about a quarter down from the top. Connect those dots. All right, the petal in the background. I'm gonna add a few of these petals in the background. I don't think I'll add the really blurry ones back here. I might just do like a color in the back. So I'm just gonna focus on the main petals. So this one starts here. It's a little bit higher up than the main petal. So let's say like right there. And I'll connect those dots. And one more back here. It's also a little bit higher. Okay, and I'm gonna leave this blank. Maybe I'll add a color in there. That's it. This and this should match pretty closely in composition and proportion. Once you've completed drawing it on the big piece of paper, you can start adding pastels. Good luck.